Welcome to another beer review with James and Alyssa.
Today we're going to be talking about a really special beer, the Delirium Nocturnum. Delirium is a series of beers that comes out of Brouwerij Huyghe. I hope I'm saying that.
Huyghe, I think.
Yeah, I hope I'm saying that. Okay. Out of Belgium. And I absolutely love Belgian beers. That's where I kind of got my leg into beer in general. So I'm really excited to taste this one because it's been a long time since I have.
You know, me too. And I feel like I have, when I was first getting into craft beer, I do remember spending some time with Delirium Nocturnum because I liked the branding. It was so strange. I like the weirdly ceramic bottles.
Yeah.
And they're not ceramic bottles. They just have a
They
painting
just have a ceramic
covering.
feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So Delirium Tremens is their most well-known beer, and that one is a Belgian Golden. The Nocturnum, however, is a Belgian Dark Strong, and it comes in around 8.5%. So basically from this beer, we're kind of expecting some dark fruits, some maybe sweet notes like caramels or chocolates or something of those sorts.
Sure.
Yeah.
I am expecting the fruits. I'm expecting dates, figs.
Yeah, absolutely. The dark fruits, the dried
yeah.
fruits. Totally. That's what dark strongs are known for best.
Color, we're looking at like a brown red.
Yeah.
Lovely color.
You can see the carbonation is really nice.
Yeah, it almost looks like pink at certain views, certain angles. And I like that the head is a little bit lighter than I was expecting for
It is.
Belgian dark strong ale.
Belgian beers in general tend to have a lot more of the fluffy, big heads. I mean, a lot of those that's the way that they're served is with a whole bunch of foam on top. So it's really nice to see the retention there because that is something that I expect out of a Belgian beer.
For sure. And I like the contrast between the color of that head and the beer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's also not very clear. It's hazier than I expected.
Yeah. Yeah, I cannot see through it.
No.
And it's not only the darkness that makes it opaque like that. Some of it has to do with that this feels like an unfiltered beer. Yeah.
Now, my only concern is that I think that we had this chilled a little too long for a Belgian in general.
Oh, sure.
So it may be a little too chilled, but we'll see if we can warm it up.
See how it goes.
Nose.
Right, a little bit lighter on the nose than I was expecting.
I agree. I definitely get some of that caramel, some like toffee, almost like a little bit of a burnt caramel. It's very subtle, but it's there.
Yeah, a little bit bready.
There's definitely some fruit.
But I'm getting the like bright fruit, maybe like a cranberry note.
Sure.
A little bit citrus presence.
Plum is what I'm getting.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
It smells lovely, and the more I smell it, the more interesting it gets.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very inviting. It doesn't smell overwhelming at all. Sometimes when you approach one of these big, like 8.5 ABV Belgian beers, even the initial experience with the nose is like you're gonna have a challenge with this beer. There's going to be a lot going on, but this isn't. It doesn't seem so challenging.
Sure.
I'm really looking forward to the flavor because I wonder if it's still going to have. It's like a hidden challenge. I wonder if there's going to be like a huge flavor complexity that the nose sort of like keeps it mysterious.
Yeah, let's find out. Cheers. Oh. I definitely get the caramel and chocolate.
Wow.
More than I expected to.
So there's something in Belgian beers, and I could say the same thing about a few American craft beers too, is that the experience of the beer is so complex that you can notice different events while you're tasting it. There's an obvious like beginning event, and then middle event, and then aftertaste event. And these flavors are so different as your experience with the beer progresses.
Yep. And as it warms up and opens up.
There's a ton of complexity in this beer.
Belgian beer is a little bit like wine in the sense that it totally opens up as the air hits it and as it warms up. it becomes a totally different experience based on the temperature it's at.
Because right up front, I'm getting some of those like bright fruits. I'm getting that cranberry first, and the transition between cranberry and the aftertaste is so profound. The aftertaste is very dark. That's where the malt is coming in. That's where the biscuity breadiness happens.
The carbonation, just like it looked, is on point. It's
Right, big
very
carbonation.
good. Yeah.
It keeps the mouthfeel very light.
very light, very smooth.
There's no indication that this is an 8.5 ABV beer.
No, there's no booziness or heaviness at all.
Yeah.
On the tongue.
Yeah.
But it's super tasty.
That makes this very dangerous because it's very drinkable.
It's a little drinkable, yeah, that's true.
Mm.
As far as the style specifically goes, I feel like it is a little more mellow than I've typically experienced.
I think so.
A dark strong.
I've definitely had some Belgian dark strongs that
They're
have
a little bit in your face.
Yeah, that have reminded me more of barley wines. These big, big
that's a
beer
good
styles.
comparison.
But this one is light. It's very approachable.
Yeah, I think that this is a great starting point for people wanting to get into dark strong.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
If you're looking to get into Belgian beer at all, I think the Delirium Tremens, I think the Delirium Nocturnum are great beers to start with.
But from personal experience, if you are more into the fruit beers and you want to venture into a little more experimentation with that, they also make one called Delirium Red, which is a really nice creek. Really good cherry.
So when you say creek, it's part cherry.
Mostly cherry.
Okay.
Yeah, big cherry flavor. I think originally it was only supposed to be a limited release, but it got such high praise that they've been producing it pretty frequently.
Yeah, it's great that the brewery decided to do that. Sometimes the brewery, certain breweries will put out a product just for a one-off, and it'll be a huge hit. But for them to take notice of that, to respond to the market that they're appealing to, and just say, okay, this is going to be a year-round offering, that's amazing.
Yeah, and they also have a seasonal offering around the holiday season, Delirium Noel, which is another really good one. Yeah, it's a really good one. It's a lot darker, it's a lot deeper.
It's a winter ale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for that one, perfect for just when you spent all day shoveling snow and you come into a warm fire. That is the beer for that moment.
Yeah, Delirium Red is perfect for summer, sitting on a patio in the heat. I think the Tremens and the Nocturnum, however, are really good just year-round beers.
Yeah.
They're just quality.
So, major props to Brewery Huyghe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing stuff.
And they've been around forever. Just like with most of these big Belgian breweries, they've been around since the 1600s, about 1650s, I think. The place that they're currently brewing, they started in there in 1906, I think it was.
Sure. So just a long heritage.
History.
Yeah.
A lot of history.
Yeah.
And as with all of the Belgian breweries that I love so much, there's just so much history, there's so much passion, there's so much work, there's so much giving back to the community. It's just a lovely beer scene, and it makes me really happy.
For sure. Oh man.
Last taste?
sip.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh man, this is an 8 for me. It's very high up there, because it is such an approachable but still very complex beer.
And as it warms up, I'm getting more of that even as we drink. For me, I just like the ABV. I'm going with an 8.5. I love Belgian beers, and this is one of them that doesn't disappoint. So.
Sure. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.